friends, Mr. Review back in the room to be Hive, and we're closing up our final discussion on political participation. We've been talking about the media. Wait, did I say media? You know Mr. Review likes Udia. And I think it would be wise for us just to spend a minute or two on how the media, the Udia, has changed in your lifetime. As Mr. Review pointed out in our last lesson, that the media, the Udia, is no longer just that elite newspaper or that privileged TV network or that big internet source. You and I are the media with our phones, with our own blogs, with our own podcasts, with our Instagram, TikTok, Facebook accounts. We now demand more media choices. This is a huge change in the way our democracy works. We also know that media, the Udia, has grown more ideologically focused. Meaning, we used to imagine, at least, when we opened up our newspapers, that it was an objective, this is what the news is, newspaper. Increasingly, however, the opinion pages of our newspaper have bled into all the paper, such that newspapers like the New York Times, clearly liberal, and newspapers like the Wall Street Journal, clearly conservative. We used to turn on our television news and imagine that Walter Cronkite was telling us the news. Now we turn on our CNN and our Fox and we realize that less than news, we're really being told opinions. We're being told particular ideologically focused perspectives. We used to think maybe when we turned on our internet sites that this was just the way the world was happening, when in fact maybe this isn't just the way the world is happening. It's how one person thinks the world is happening. So how do we know what we're watching is true, that's valid, that it's credible? This is an extremely important point and lesson to take away today. How do we know if a news site is valid? Mr. Review says, I don't know. And this is why we cannot rely on one source. Look for consensus. Look for, hey, the ratings on this particular newspaper or internet site or television broadcast, there seems to be a volume of people who accept this as valid. I think that's an important lesson. But as I've said before, Mr. Review also suggests that we do not allow ourselves to be victim to one news site, one news source, one media outlet. Udia outlet. Find a variety of friends. Find a variety of advocates. Find a variety of folks who have our democracy in mind. The media is changing quickly and dramatically. It's still essential for a healthy democracy. But let's make sure that we use it for why it's so valuable, to be informed, not to be misinformed, or worse, uninformed, used, manipulated, persuaded, not because of facts, but because of propaganda. Oh, the media is such an important linkage institution. What did I say, media? I meant to say Udia. You, in the end, make up the important linkage institutions as you join political parties, as you join interest groups, as you participate in campaigns and elections, as you collect information and become an informed citizen to then choose our representatives or maybe run yourself as a candidate. Democracy is an exciting word, not to study, but to do. Democracy is not a noun, it is a verb. Political participation here in America is one of our greatest legacies and one of our greatest ways to be hopeful in a future that otherwise could be dark. Because we, the people, a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, connect in a variety of ways to make sure that our government truly governs in our best interests and not in the best interests of some smaller elite, disengaged group from us. The very success of democracy depends upon the knowledge and skills of its citizens. Mr. Review has hoped that through these lessons we've informed you a little and given you some skills so as to make our democracy a strong beacon, not just for today, but forever. I'm Mr. Review in the room to be Hive, pollinating our future with civic understanding.